I'm appalled at what you said on that pod thing. It's disgusting.
This is the After the Show podcast. It's where we get honest and real with yo ass. So sit back, relax, have a blast, because it's time for the After the Show podcast.
Well, we talked to Virginia right as she was landing in Fort Lauderdale. She'll be back with us tomorrow. She's definitely beat down from going to New Orleans and Jazz Fest, which I don't know how much jazz they have there, but they had some really great artists. The Killers played, Chris Stapleton played. They've got the Foo Fighters coming up this weekend playing.
I thought her Chris Stapleton clip was great.
You could hear it faintly in the background.
There was, to be fair, there was one I thought I had sent Denny's, and I messed up on it, but she recorded some of him singing White Horse, and she wasn't too yappy on that one. But, yeah, the one that Denny's brought in, yeah.
She sent me a few clips, and like you said, I didn't even hear much jazz. I don't think I heard any jazz, actually. Every act I heard, there was a hip-hop act I heard.
Right. That's what it seems like. There was no jazz that I heard. It's so ironic that Jazz Fest has no jazz.
I mean, there was zero in the clips she sent.
Yeah, it was just a bunch. And they have Greta Van Fleet going to be playing. They're a rock band.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the lineups.
That's Led Zeppelin, right?
Amazing. They're
It's like modern Zepp.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the new.
But aren't they the ones that say, no, we're not trying to sound like Zeppelin?
Yeah, they're like, who's Led Zeppelin?
Led
They're acting
what?
like they never heard of them.
Yo, dude.
Yeah, I saw one interview with them one time. Like, the denial was thick.
They'd be like Oasis saying, no, we the Beatles. We won't talk to you like the Beatles.
I don't care what you do. I mean, it's not like you're doing, Zeppelin covers. It's just that your style is clearly ripped straight off Led Zeppelin. I love it. It's almost like if Led Zeppelin came out with a new album. I'd be like, oh, this is cool. Sounds great. Go for it. Yeah, SunFest week is here. So you got, all that going on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's going on. Queen and I were trying to make a decision. We were listening to the artists that are going to be playing on Saturday, and we're like, okay, do we want to pay the money? Do we feel like this is a good investment?
What day is best, do you think, with the lineups?
It depends upon what you want out of it. I tell you. So, my wife, I've gotten her into a country kick, so she loves that. Cole Swindell's decent. I love El King. And then you've got a dude, Dylan Scott, that's got like 2 or 3 decent songs.
Is that the 3 main ones on that day, you think?
That'd be it for us. But you know what? The one thing, I wasn't even familiar with Young Gravy. And I was listening to some Young Gravy yesterday because the Queen's like, well, maybe we should check out Young Gravy. I'm like, Young Gravy? What is that? And
I laughed when I saw the name, but I think he's like one of the hottest acts out there at the moment.
Yeah. You know what? He reminds me of who's the other guy that did the jet plane? Na, 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 na. He's the other white guy from Louisville because this is a white dude from Minnesota. And it's kind
like
of
Little Dicky.
Yeah, well, you have Lil Dicky, you have who's the other? Like I said, there's another white guy, I can't remember him, and then you got Young Gravy. It's like these 3 dudes almost do the same thing. I mean, it's good. There's some decent hooks. The music's all right. It's better than some of the stuff I've heard, and it's almost comical.
Mm-hmm. It did have because I pulled some clips earlier. I was kind of listening to him. Yeah, he had some funny punchlines.
It's got some of that vibe to it. So I was like, it's okay. I would, if I were there, I don't really know it. That's the only thing. It's not familiar to me, but it wasn't terrible. Some of the stuff I was like, it was okay. I don't know if I'd become a rabid fan of Young Gravy.
I just find all the new hip hop is trap beat. It's that same exact drum beat every single time, and then the rap style is almost the exact same every time.
I can't get into it.
It's like line and line and line, line and line and line and line.
Right.
It's the same rhythm, which I get because it sounds cool. I don't have anything. It's kind of like reggae music. They have the same exact feel for every song.
The rap group I like a lot that I've been listening to, Run the Jewels. I like them.
So they're cool.
I think they are an awesome
Run the
group.
Jewels?
Yeah,
Yes.
they got some good songs.
Really? Okay. I'll check that out.
I think you would like them.
Yeah, I
That's
got
that
it.
Killer Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have heard some of the Killer Mike stuff. Yeah, off his new album. I was kind of tracking some of that. Yeah, he is good. I do like Killer Mike. And he doesn't seem like he's in that style.
Well, so that's what I would say about
Yeah.
them is they're definitely not in that style.
It's the kind of rap you would like to hear.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Jack Harlow. Yeah, that's
Got you.
that's
Yes,
the
he's
one guy,
huge
yeah.
too.
Jack Harlow, Lil Dicky, Young Gravy. I'm sure I'm insulting fans of all I'm saying there, but to me, not knowing much about any of the artists, they feel to me like they're kind of in the same universe.
They're gonna turn on you, Old Gravy.
I'm Old Gravy. Old Gravy. How gnarly is Old Gravy?
It's pretty
Thick
gross.
skin on it. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what you got going on with the SunFest stuff. So I think we'd probably do that.
But do you have?
went.
I kind of want to compare each day and say what day's the best day.
Okay, so Friday it's Nelly, Billy Idol, Shaggy, and Quiet Riot.
All right, that's a pretty solid first round right there.
It's okay.
They're
Yeah.
in the lead right now.
Yeah, Nelly does have a good bit of hits. It feels like he's in South Florida a good bit. Billy Idol, if he still sounded good.
I mean, that's just kind of cool to see him.
Even if he doesn't, I'm sure they'll have some kind of a thing to help him out. I'm not saying he does that. But
AI Billy.
I just know that a lot of people do it.
I'm a massive fan of his. I think it was Rebel Yell was the name of the album he came out with in 1983 that has Eyes Without a Face.
Yes, that's
I mean, it just sounds good. And Rebel Yell and some of the songs, he's got like 5 songs that really do punch.
Eyes Without a Face is a jam. That's a good cruising song.
Yeah. So he had a few songs that I really like from that era.
I don't sound like an old fuck at all. Yeah, I got a cruising song.
Put on your driving gloves.
Shaggy, a few, decent songs.
I mean, they're
That's your thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're super unoffensive. He's actually cooler with Sting than he ever was in his own career, in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought they sounded great together. Quiet Riot, which it's not really even close to the whole band. Lead singer's dead. The old guitarist is dead. So, yeah, it's them. But they did have 2 to 3 pretty strong songs that I liked back in the day.
They are just a little bit more quiet these days.
Yeah.
Less Riot.
But they're not. I'm not going to go out for Quiet Riot.
You wouldn't be pumped to see Quiet Riot without half of their band?
If I walk by and heard it, it would be like, honestly, well, I'll go to Matthews Brewing, and they will have very good cover bands. And that's the same thing that you're seeing. He gets really good. He's got a Van Halen cover band. They all look like the original artists in it, and they don't sound far off from the original.
It's kind of like
it's the same thing, though.
If I show up at a birthday party and they just happen to have a Little Caesars pizza, I'll eat it because it's there.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this is pretty good, but I would never seek it out. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of what the Quiet Riot would be for you.
That's kind of where I am. I don't know that I've ever gone out of my way on a night to see a cover band, and that's what Quiet Riot is.
Do you think with the rising of cost of concerts that cover bands are going to become the new thing? It's going to become what everybody starts going
Honestly,
to?
they are doing very well. And I will tell you, when I go to Matthews Brewing in Lake Worth Beach, and he has all-day music Saturdays, they do very well. And I've enjoyed it. It's cool because when you're there, and especially when a group is really close to the original, you're like, dang, they're pretty good. They sound pretty on point. And there are some really good, I don't know, they must be making good money. Because I think they book kind of frequently, and there are some that are really hard to get, and they almost have their own following.
Yeah. A lot of those bands tour all the way up Florida and back down. They just go up and down.
Sure.
And yeah, you could definitely make a career out of it.
Dude, without a doubt. There's so many great musicians out there that people will never even know about. But they're just as good, if not better, than some of the people that are popular.
Yeah.
A lot of it's politics, too, and how you get your break and all that.
Yeah, it's just weird what determines what a hit artist is now. I think a lot of it, the record labels seek artists that already have a good following on their social media before they even get in bed with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's probably a bad phrase in modern day.
I'm telling you, though, Run the Jewels, check them out.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah, they're different from that trap sound.
Because
they're definitely not. They're not at all trap.
Yeah, Killer Mike's new CD. He just dropped that in the last month and a half.
It's an awesome album cover too.
Yeah, so I listened to some of it. I'll have to get into that a bit and check it out.
He was on The View, and what Sunny Hostin?
Yeah,
she kind of went in on him about something. And he corrected her right away.
He's a smart dude.
He said,
Yes.
"Don't lie on me right now. I didn't say I supported this guy." Then he went into because he's into politics big time.
He is, yeah. And he's a smart dude. I've seen him on. He was on Bill Maher a couple of weeks ago. He's good friends with Bill and goes on a show a good bit.
I love his interview on The View.
Yeah, he's a smart dude.
Because he really they weren't talking over him. He kind of ran he kind of ran it.
Yeah, because he ain't gonna put up with that.
No.
Yeah, when you're like, no.
Well, it's nice when you see people who know their stuff, and then if somebody
Yeah.
does call them out, and then they can
right.
prove
He
their
backs it
points
up.
and back it up properly. I mean,
I just like the way he handled himself when
He did.
when they were pushing back on something, and I also like his perspective about you're never too old. Don't let your dreams die of anything because you are old.
Right.
You know, there's something to be said about keeping that youthful spirit inside of you.
He does some acting too. He had did a little guest stint as himself in Billions.
all right.
He was part of that. It was about getting his endorsement, so they were trying to, woo
I feel like
him.
shows like that often have artists and stuff from real life to kind of add realism to them.
Yeah.
They'll write those in.
Uh-huh.
Like that Ballers show.
Yeah.
I liked Ballers. I
It
thought that was good.
I stopped watching it when it moved out of Miami.
I
but
did too.
Maybe it probably still was good. If I had nothing else to watch, I might go back and see it someday.
I'm sure I would probably enjoy watching it. And me and Danny were talking about that the other day. There's sometimes it's not because I don't like a show or I think it's bad. For whatever reason, life goes on and things have changed in my schedule or whatever,
Right.
and I just forget to go back to something.
Sure.
Ballers, I didn't stop because I hated it.
No.
I
Yeah.
just for some reason stopped watching it.
Yeah. I got a lot of shows like that. There's about 4 or 5 shows. I'm like, what happened with that? I gotta go back and do that. I need to start writing that list to remind me for those days where I'm like, what am I gonna watch? Well, you got 4 or 5 shows you want to watch. You just
You
forgot.
just
'em.
forgot about them. And you watch the same thing over again.
I wanted to watch the Bon Jovi documentary only because it sounded like there's a lot of drama.
I
Yeah.
bet.
But I was reading some of the comments earlier, and some were saying the back end's not as good as the front end, and
Meaning that the first part of the documentary is good, the back part is not.
that was a few comments I had seen.
Okay.
Really?
So I don't know. The one that I highly recommend if you want drama is the Eagles. Holy shit, man! Gosh, that I don't think they fucking liked any. I don't think any of them liked anybody, man.
Yes.
That would be that'd be cool. I saw an awesome video yesterday. It was pretty neat actually. It was a little kid that was on a guitar. He was probably like 9 or 10, and he was playing the solo for Hotel California.
Oh, nice.
And he was nailing it. And you could see his dad was out doing some chores, and his dad was like, oh, cool, my kid's playing. So he came over, and his dad got his guitar. They both handled it so well together. It was just a cool father-son moment, but they both nailed the solo. But then you realize that's a really freaking good guitar solo.
And it's littered in controversy, that song.
The song, why?
Because Felder is the one that came up with a lot of the riffs and the hooks
Okay.
for it. He sent Don Henley a bunch of songs when he joined the band, and he was late to the game. The guitar player dude,
Okay.
Felder, and he wanted more rights to the song. But Don Henley and Glenn Fry
Like,
were usually the
rewrote it.
lyric people, and I don't think they were always awesome to work with. I think
Okay.
they were ego driven. And I just think that there was always some contention with that because he came up with a big part of that song and
Okay.
doesn't really get the credit he deserves.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have
Yeah.
to go check that out.
The solo is tight in that. The dun 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 dun
Isn't it? Yeah.
Oh,
because you got the two guitars doing thirds.
Joe
Right.
Walsh and Felder going back and forth together. It's hypnotic
Crushed.
to watch on stage.
It was watching that father son playing it. It was
It's cool.
hypnotic, and it's just the sound of it's so freaking awesome.
So that's a song that falls into where the song is awesome and everyone agrees that, but you've just heard it so many times that you put
Yeah.
it aside and you stop listening to it. Then when you do catch it every 8 years or so, you're like, wow, this song really does rock.
That's
Yeah.
what happened to me with "We Are the Champions." We all know that
Again.
song, but I hadn't heard it in a minute. I was walking in the lobby.
That song's a jam.
Dude, that song is such a jam. I stopped for a second going, fuck, this is such a good song.
Bohemian Rhapsody, that's a great song, but man, I've heard it so many times. But when you do listen back to it after a while, you go, wow, this song really does rock.
I could die without ever hearing Don't Stop Believing again.
Yeah.
If I never heard that song ever again, I would be okay.
Same here.
It needs a long break for me.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
right there
Sweet
with you.
Caroline is another one that I could go eons without.
I fucking hate
Yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
There's a couple that
I
I
hate that
could
song.
never hear again be fine.
I just hate the bump. I hate it.
Yeah. Then on Sunday at SunFest, you've got Third Eye Blind playing, and I really, they had an era there in the 94, 95. I
yeah.
loved a lot of their songs. They have some really good stuff, probably more than you remember. I think Third Eye Blind has 5 at least solid songs.
And they're solid live. I've seen them a long time
Yeah.
ago.
Revolution, they do so well.
They're awesome
here in South Florida, and they sound great. They're tight. Modest Yahoo, I don't think I've seen live, but he plays West Palm all the time.
It's probably going to go off. I imagine he's still. I mean, I used to at least the one album that he came out with.
Yeah, that's your weed smoking day. If you want to go out and
totally.
just chill on the lawn and get high as a kite, then yeah, go down to that one.
Believe it or not, the Carpenters are pretty good to smoke to too.
Really? Okay. Then Dashboard Confessional is playing. It's Chris Carrabba from Boca Raton. They're solid. Vindicated. They've got
got
about
a
2
ton
or
of
3
hits.
songs. They got about 2 or 3 songs I like.
They have a fantastic song called "So Long, So Long."
Oh yeah, mhm.
It is such a jam.
It is.
I love that song.
Yeah, he's a very talented dude. Boys Like Girls, they're a pop band, have like a hit or two. And then Cassidy Pope, who we talked to on Friday. It's going to be out there Sunday afternoon. So that's what you got for SunFest. So yeah, we're toying with it. The only thing for me that I got to figure out is Chris Stapleton is going to be playing here on next Thursday.
Do you want Virginia to go and talk over all the songs?
She'll send you the one good clip.
I'm slowly becoming a massive Chris Stapleton fan, especially after hearing that Tom Petty cover that he just did, especially his rock and stuff. And he seems to be doing a little bit more of that, stepping into the void
Gotcha.
of Southern rock. So he's hard to define because I would say he's probably more Southern rock than he is even country. But man, his voice, he's hypnotic. He sounds good. Great musicianship. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pass on the SunFest and go check out Chris Stapleton on Thursday. We'll see. But anyway, big
Thursday,
week of music.
though.
I know. I'd have to consider. I don't know.
You ain't going.
I don't know how I could swing it.
You won't do it. Do it, bitch.
Yeah, you
I
should go
might.
see him. I mean, how often?
I know.
And now
You
it's the
should.
time.
I've done that too often. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna go.
He's gonna
I
get
should
too
just
big.
go.
Here's
Yeah.
the good thing. You're going. You can get through a Friday. It's
Yeah.
gonna suck.
Yes.
But you can get now.
I mean,
a
we've done
Monday
it.
or a Tuesday.
Right.
I
You're right.
get why you would, but you
I
can
could
get
suck
to a
it up.
fucking Friday.
I could make it happen.
Totally.
Yeah, I could make it happen. So I'm starting to eyeball that Chris Stapleton. Check that out. Liliana sent an email. She said, I got to tell you that Duran Duran is my all-time favorite band since I was 12 years old, and I saw Hungry Like the Wolf on MTV. I was hooked, and I still am today, and I just saw the Netflix documentary you're talking about. It was awesome. I downloaded even more songs this weekend. Yeah, I haven't really gotten to it. I watched about 5 minutes of it.
That's one of my favorite videos of all time. Hungry Like the Wolf.
Oh, music
Phenomenal.
video.
Phenomenal.
Such a good video.
Yeah, they changed the game. Rio is such a cool.
Rio's the one where he flips the table in the beginning.
That's Hungry Like the
That's
Wolf.
the hunger. That
Yes.
dude. That video is the bomb.
And-
Rio's the second bomb though.
And seriously,
Uh-huh.
the song Rio, and I know
Yeah.
there's people who really hate Duran Duran out there, but if you love Duran Duran, they seriously have 20 to 30 songs that just are amazing.
So good.
Yes.
Rio is such a
So
jam.
that song
good.
goes off.
Yeah,
love Rio.
I still listen to Duran Duran all the time.
Me
They're on
too.
my playlist, and every time I never fast forward through a Duran Duran song.
Ordinary World is a really
phenomenal.
well-written song.
Yeah, I was listening to Come Undone this weekend. I love that song. It's a great tune, and a lot of their songs sound different too.
Mm-hmm.
Got a recommendation here, a couple different things. One on Aventura. They said, this is from Grant. He said, I really don't watch much TV, but something to watch. It's got a local tie, Aventura, a low-budget documentary called The Giant Killer. Okay.
So what were they building Aventura to take out Miami? Is that what the title refers to?
I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I'll see what Grant's talking about.
That's
From
our
that, I don't-
brand?
Yeah. From that, I don't know what that is.
Aventura is a weird place with horrible traffic.
Yes,
It's
around
just
the
it's
mall.
got the worst traffic in history.
It's pretty rough.
Yeah, it is pretty. Once you get in there, it's lovely.
It's very
lovely, the mall.
very beautiful.
Yes. Jacqueline, we were talking about Britney today. I don't know exactly what happened to that court case with her dad, Jamie. I just saw she had to pay him $2 million in legal fees.
Well, according to Virginia, he is
A monster.
a very terrible monster.
Jacqueline said if you read Britney's book, her parents invited her to their home under one set of circumstances, and then they turned around and had her committed to the hospital as soon as she walked in the door.
That's from the Britney Spears book.
Yeah. That was in her book. And then she put out an Instagram post early Sunday morning, like Saturday night into Sunday morning, just talking about, how they betrayed her and how she couldn't go back home and she'd want to and all that. So, I don't know. The whole Britney story, I don't know all the details, and I don't have much of an opinion.
Virginia does. She has every detail ever known.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm lacking in a lot of details, but I can tell you because my grandmother was in and out of mental hospitals a lot. And it's unsavory, and it's tough. And they will look at you. You're trying to do the best for them, and they will hold a grudge against you.
Yes.
And they will not see why you're doing what you're doing, and they will think you are the worst person ever. And I don't know if that's Britney's story. I just know that a lot of times when you're dealing with some mental illness, and I don't even know if Britney is, she might be from some things I've seen. She had the same look in her eyes my grandmother often had.
But I do wonder sometimes, people act like they know every detail about these celebrity stories. We don't know.
But I know those kind of things can get very complicated. And I know we, on occasions, had to do a bait and switch with Grandma because she was not willingly taking her meds, was not willingly going to a place where she needed to go to chill out for a couple days, those kind of things. And it was complicated and challenging.
We had a situation like that in our family as well. And to your point, it is very challenging because you are trying to help.
Yeah.
And they can get angry at you.
She definitely held a grudge on the way that, she felt betrayed and, felt like nobody loved her and everybody was conspiring against her and it was everybody against her and it wasn't, in a sense they were, but it was for her own good.
I'm asking you guys, could you commit me? I think it would do the body well.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I'd thank people. I'd be like,
please commit me.
Please.
It seems so restful.
I need care.
Sounds lovely.
Like, all you have to do is work on, mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That'd be great. Really would. Let me see. There are a couple other comments here. One about the TV show Lost. We were talking about the finale of that last week, and Jeff said, yeah, if you didn't remember, the show ended with everybody being dead and just an afterlife purgatory. It wasn't as bad an ending as people are saying.
I saw the end of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
And you said you liked it.
I did like it. The last 3 episodes made me laugh. I like it because he got Larry David got a lot of shit for not giving a good ending for Seinfeld.
Yeah.
I am one of the few people that did not hate the ending of Seinfeld, but it's a major, major theme in the last episode.
That's hilarious.
I saw Jerry Seinfeld kind of loved it because he thought it brilliantly tied the finales of both shows together in a really great way, 20 or 30 years apart.
They make there's mentions of it not doing great, and throughout all of Curb Your Enthusiasm, there'd always be somebody that goes, "Love Seinfeld, that ending, though, that was not good." He's like, "What do you mean it wasn't good?" He always gets so offended when somebody says the finale wasn't good. So it's just funny to hear him make fun of it because he knows it's out there.
Yeah. That's one of those shows I was telling you, like, just for whatever reason, I just lost momentum on it, and I have to pick it back up again.
He just doesn't give a fuck about offending
I always enjoyed it.
Anybody.
Yeah.
He really doesn't.
Yeah. I always enjoyed it. I think I'll go back and watch that. You ever had that though, where you watch a show, you've maybe put in 3 or 4 seasons and you can't remember exactly where you were?
Yes.
That's always the challenge. Be like, okay, does this look familiar? Did I watch this?
Yep.
Oh, that's why you can't skip on Thrones. If you're binge watching on Game of Thrones, I did that and it was out for like a year, and then I'm like, wait, where the fuck am I?
Well, it takes you 30 minutes to figure out you've already seen this episode. There'd be some lulls in that show for.
Well, there's seriously 31 different white British men that look identical.
And they all have insane titles and names.
They all have
it's
weird
so
names.
hard to keep track of.
And they all have a cape or a cloak on. Going, is that the same?
That was the first show I watched where you actually had to do homework just to keep up with. You know what I'm saying? Like, it used to be you would watch shows to enjoy them. That one you kind of got pressured in to get invested in the characters, and then people would want to discuss it with you, and you wouldn't remember everybody's name.
Yeah.
That one was a lot of work.
I say the GOAT when it comes to that show. I'm a King Joffrey fan.
Yeah, because they did the eras of the villains, and yeah, I'd say Joffrey was good. Ramses was just too evil, man.
Ramsey was so evil, but if no one knows or the show, they're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I
guys.
know, right?
Let me see a couple other finales people were talking about. Dexter, disappointing. Sopranos still pisses me off. And Victor said Killing Eve. And I'll tell you, yeah, with Killing Eve, first season I thought was good. The ending is so bad in that I'd be like, don't even bother.
All right, I never saw the ending of that. That's a show I watched, though.
I couldn't believe what they did in the ending of
Really?
Killing Eve.
All right.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, that just sucked.
I watched the first 2 seasons.
I loved The Sopranos. Very disappointed in the ending. You don't
Yeah.
know what happens.
It just ends with a cliffhanger, right?
Please spell it out for me.
They've told you now that he was that was it. Curtains. He was
They
killed.
say that now.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Oh,
Get
cop
outta
out.
here. What a bunch of shit.
Yeah, but you're right.
Succession. What do you land on that one for finale?
It was all right. It was
all
okay.
right.
It was all right.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna off himself.
Oh, okay. That might have been a little bit grittier.
I thought so.
Might not have been a bad play.
I mean, it's hard to end a show without everybody getting annoyed. Because I actually didn't hate the Seinfeld ending, but a lot of people hate that
Oh,
ending.
they hate it.
Well, I remember because I was doing radio at the time, and a big conversation we had was the speculation. There were a lot of what they thought were leaked scripts about what was going to happen, and it all was a happy ending kind of. They wind up in L.A., and then Kramer winds up his neighbor again, and blah, blah, blah. And so everybody thought that's along the lines of what was going to go on. So when you got this curveball of wait, they just wound up in a jail cell together?
They all end up in jail.
For it, people were just so
I think
upset that it didn't go, because there were some really good theories about the ending, and people like, oh my gosh, I hope that's it. That'll be a perfect way to wrap up this show. And it was no one expected that was going to be the finale, and so it crushed everybody's dreams.
I really think you should just watch the finale of Curb just to watch, to see
all right.
all the stuff I'm talking about as far as the Seinfeld stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Seinfeld isn't the last one.
Yeah, Jerry. I figured.
Oh, he is? Okay.
I should
Yeah,
stop
that's good.
spoiling shit. I'm so sorry.
All right, what else, Bird?
E.T. does go home, and Bruce Willis was dead the whole fucking time.
Damn, I figured that movie out.
Danny's always brags about that. He
I
goes,
figured it out at the dinner scene, right in the very beginning, when he goes to put his hand on her hands and she pulls him away. I'm going, he's a ghost. He's dead.
Really?
You know,
Yes.
if you sit down and really try to put holes through that story and how you can do it.
You can't, but
You can
just
ruin it for yourself.
to be fair, people had already gone like, bro, this movie changed. It's crazy, you know? So I go, all right, I went into it with an eye and I go, all right, clearly this guy's dead. Just because.
Yeah, well, that's kind of, if you know there's a twist ending, that alone right there kind of.
Huge advantage.
It's-
Then
huge
you're
advantage.
looking for the tells
Exactly.
throughout the whole movie, and a lot of times, yeah, you can't. That's how I was with.
Usual suspects.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I didn't even know there was a twist in it. I had seen that just as a movie.
Yes.
And then I saw the ending and I go, wow, this movie really flipped you.
Yeah. One person had emailed and they thought that Virginia should watch Collateral.
It's
the
a good
one
movie.
with Tom
I
Cruise.
love that movie.
Do you think she would watch it? And that was the whole thing. Tom Cruise got such a bad reputation in that era. He's created really good movies since, and people are like, because it's
Yeah,
Tom
for
Cruise. And I
sure.
think that's one of those movies that doesn't get the shine that it should, because at the time people were so weirded out by Tom Cruise and
Scientology.
didn't like him. Yeah.
I can separate that the guy is a fucking maniac. I can separate that.
Yeah.
Tell me that guy does not have a good resume when it comes to movies. The guy just knows how to get into good movies, and he's a good actor.
He's a real. He feels like he's real when you watch him acting.
I get if you don't like him as a person.
It'd be interesting to see if every actor had a ratio on box office bombs to box office blockbusters.
He has to be up there as far as a great percentage.
Absolutely.
I would think so as well. I would think he and Tom Hanks are two of the tops in ratios.
I think T. Hanks probably's got more bombs than a Cruise.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. I don't know if Tom Cruise actually could be beaten. Leo DiCaprio, I think, is oddly high with his ratios as well. But again, you have to like his style. And he gets the credit of, oh my gosh, it's just everything he does is brilliant. And the question would be, is it really brilliant, or is it just because Martin Scorsese was a director? And
it's 11 hours long.
yeah.
Modern day, he gets a lot of credit for his work. He did a lot of really good young movies.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but that one, the Flower Moon or whatever, is anybody
Killers of the Flower Moon. I haven't seen
has
it
anybody
yet.
even seen that? I mean, do people really watch Leo DiCaprio movies except for people that are in the, what is that called, the awards, the Academy?
That's what happens sometimes. Sometimes these people get all this shine and all these accolades, but because they're involved in this Hollywood circle jerk, oh, Leo is the best.
Is his shine deserved?
Exactly.
It's a good question.
Because
I
if
haven't
you
watched
look-
one of this in a while.
Well, if you look at it, who do you think, Tom Cruise or Leo DiCaprio? Who has the better reputation, you would think?
By the way, I do think Leo is a good actor.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying he
It's not
gets
to
so
dump on
many
him.
opportunities, and he's put up on such a Leo is so great. Well, they love him. They're going to give him the best.
Yeah.
And it's a big circle jerk.
Yeah, it just seems like people love Leo DiCaprio. The people love Leo and they hate Tom Cruise. But who really makes better movies that you would watch more often?
Leo's got a lot of good movies, man.
He
From
does.
Departed.
He does.
Basketball Diaries, that's a fun one.
Very depressing. That's
like
a
the heaviest
movie,
damn
my
But
man.
aren't a
ever.
lot of his movies
This Boy's Life.
Aren't a lot of Leo DiCaprio movies one watchers? Like The Revenant?
I would agree with that. This Boy's Life's heavy.
That movie I watch all the time.
Gilbert Grape.
Don't you dry gulch me.
Gilbert
That is
Grape's
such
heavy.
a good movie, man. This Boy's Life.
That's a great movie. It's just
is
you
a
watch it once.
Really good movie.
How many rewatchable movies does Leo have? Like, I would watch Top Gun is a massive rewatchable movie.
sure.
Departed's definitely rewatchable.
Departed, Catch Me If You Can are rewatchable.
Wolf of Wall Street, without
That's
a
super
doubt.
rewatchable.
That is,
Rewatchable.
yeah.
Very rewatchable. I'd have to pull up a list.
Is the dream one he was in, Inception? Is that?
Oh, Inception. I've seen that.
yeah.
I've seen that a few times.
I would actually like to see if anybody did that. They would do a ratio, whatever's considered to be a blockbuster smash compared to a bust, and who's got the highest success rate? Because Hollywood has to have that.
Well, he was really good. Leo was great, and so was Brad Pitt in that Tarantino movie about the Charles Manson
Yeah,
stuff.
Once Upon a Time in America.
in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, that's it.
It's a good movie, but it's a weird ending, man.
Right? Yeah,
I
I've
don't
heard
know.
that, and I never watched it for that reason.
I'm not sure if you would love that
It's an
movie.
Yeah.
altered timeline.
It's an altered
ending.
timeline.
It's the same thing they did in Inglourious Bastards. It's an altered timeline, as if Hitler was killed.
And the one Brad Pitt movie, I think I've seen the beginning 5 different times, and every time I go, holy shit, what an amazing beginning. And for some reason, it starts to lose me, or I just haven't finished it. That Zombie X or Zombie Z with Brad Pitt.
World War Z.
Oh yeah.
The first 20 minutes
That
of
movie's movie's awesome.
is intense, man.
Yeah.
The zombies start taking over, and it's shot really, really
It
great.
is.
Okay.
That's a good movie.
I don't know if you'd like that one. It's intense.
Yeah, probably too much for me. But do you put Brad Pitt at the same level as Leo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks?
Yes, I do.
Brad Pitt's like one of the best actors of all
And
time,
Tom
in my
Cruise?
opinion.
Is he on Tom
he was
Cruise level?
just as big as them at one point. I
I
believe.
like Brad Pitt as an actor.
I
he
do
probably
too.
has my favorite movie base out of the 3.
I like him. I guess for some reason I feel if the other guys are A's, he's an A minus.
I disagree.
It's tough.
I would take a Brad Pitt over. Gosh, that's
Well, if you were banking all your money, would you bank more money on Brad Pitt or on Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I think
so, but Tom Cruise is like A++. At a
right,
time. At
and
a
it's
time.
not
Nowadays,
much,
no.
but I feel like Brad Pitt's a cut below. It's
I
not
guess,
massive,
yeah.
but it's a cut below.
A cooch hair.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
talking such a.
like I said, it's A to A minus,
I hear you.
but it's still if you're talking about all the different levels.
Who do you bank on, Brad Pitt or Leo?
Leo.
Personally, I would take Brad Pitt, but I think Leo would probably win.
I think you're right, man.
If you're just saying I'm just throwing out a random movie and yeah, who do you trust more to create a big movie? I'm gonna go Leo.
Now I would.
Like I said, I think Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise, they're 3 people in a different category.
I think I take current day Brad Pitt over current day Tom Hanks.
All right, yeah, I would agree with you on that.
I think Brad Pitt's still. I don't know. Tom Hanks has done some shitty movies that we're forgetting about. That
True. Yeah.
have been
Oh yeah.
the one with him and Julia Roberts.
Yeah, but that's That's the first one that jumped out of my mind, though. I don't know how many other ones he has.
And I've watched
other
that
than
movie so many times. It's always on HBO.
Why? Because it's terrible?
It's just it's on and it's on the background and you just say, oh fuck it.
That's just what you do, huh?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks or Will Smith? Who do you trust more?
Right now,
So,
it's
I mean,
not even
after
close.
the-
It's Tom Hanks.
I was to say, yeah, after the slap,
Okay.
I think it has to be Hanks.
Will Smith, from that one slap, if he were an A, is probably a B minus.
Man, it didn't have to go that way as bad as it did. I mean, it was awful with the slap, but I just feel like waited way too long to really say to do the. And then I watched his apology the other day. It wasn't the worst apology, but you could tell it was manufactured. It's acting.
Yeah, he could have flipped everything. He changed everyone's perception of him just in one night.
That was what I was watching over the weekend. Someone made a montage of all of the worst YouTube apologies when they fuck up, and that led into the worst celebrity apologies. There are some pretty awful.
Really? Yeah. I'm telling you, that is so key. That is critical. How you apologize, how fast you apologize.
And you can tell the YouTube people are, without a doubt, not seasoned on how to apologize compared to Hollywood people.
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, everyone got mad at my video. I was trying to be funny.
I'm sorry you
Yes.
guys can't take a joke.
But,
Yes.
but the thing that they'll do is they're filming and they'll sit down, take a deep breath. Okay. All right.
So,
So
I'm just
dramatic.
you could have cut and edited all of that. You did not have to keep that in the
They
video.
wanted you to
They want you
see
to-
their
Of course,
emotion.
it's acting.
How hard this is for
my
them.
bad acting.
There's some bad ones out there, Kev.
Yeah. Yeah, no, social media has definitely created a very interesting line of new celebrities.
It is. You're right about that. I was showing Denny's. Do you know who Colleen Ballinger is?
No.
She played Miranda
Miranda
Sings.
Sings.
She was.
And what?
She was.
She's a YouTube star, kind of when YouTube was big. She created an on-air persona, this girl Miranda Sings, who I guess doesn't really sing well, but she's trying to get famous as the shtick.
Okay.
But she really can sing
But
well.
the girl who plays her actually is a film or a drama student, I
She
believe.
plays her two parts. It's her as Colleen and also her Miranda Sings character. And long story short, she was huge. Her
Yeah.
family was huge on YouTube, and she had a scandal about 9 or 10 months ago, and it was. They were saying she was grooming kids. She was being very inappropriate with how she would talk to them. She was on text threads. She sent one kid a bra. And
Kid?
A kid,
Like a-
yes.
Like how old?
Like
What?
13 or 14, but she
Okay.
says it was a joke.
Yeah.
Well, her apology is known as the worst YouTube apology of all time.
Really? Okay.
Because she takes her ukulele and it's called the Gossip Toxic Train.
Yeah,
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Toxic Gossip Train.
Toxic Gossip Train. And it's about a 14-minute long video, and she sings. She's like, all aboard the gossip. She starts singing all this stuff, and then she'll be like, the most cringe way to look in the camera and try to explain why she's not wrong, but it really
So
hits
she
the
plays
mark,
the
or
ukulele.
misses the mark.
and tells you what she catches you up on the story, and then she keeps resolving it with the chorus, which is the toxic gossip train, and then she goes and tells you more of the story, and then keeps doing that all the way. I mean, it's very long.
And everybody, they would make fun of it because they would show receipts of all the things that she would do. So people would make reaction videos to her doing
Right.
that and go, well, what about this? And how about this? And that time you sent the bra to the kid.
It's a different era now with social media and how people do that, and people's abilities now to get clips and put them all together. It's a whole different world, because that used to be something where you would only see the tabloids,
Yes.
the TV gossip sites that would put all the clips in. But now with the TikTok videos and everything, I'm just telling you, doing deep dives into the Diddy stuff. I mean, they're pulling up all the receipts, the videos, the stuff where you're going, gosh, I never even saw that. So it's not even they're talking about it. They're showing you
Yes.
all this stuff. You're like, wow, okay, when you do kind of put it all together, man, that does look weird.
I think just people forgot or didn't realize that none of this stuff is going away.
Yeah,
The internet,
right.
once you upload it, people can find clips from
Yeah.
20 years ago.
Well, you have to be so tight, so systematic, so careful with every little video you shoot. A flip it thing on a Friday night when you're driving in your car with your friends, you got to be careful. If you're that ilk and you're anything in the public eye, you gotta be like, hey, don't put me in this video. I don't know what you guys are doing.
I can tell you this much: if you do get in trouble, do not apologize with a ukulele song.
Oh, right.
Seems like that'd be a given, but apparently not everybody gets that.
It's next level cringy.
Yeah. Okay. Might have to go look into that. Sounds like a fun little topic. All right. Appreciate all the emails. Appreciate you guys being here. Virginia back with us tomorrow. We'll get back on track with the full team Tuesday. Enjoy your Monday. We'll see you back here then. Goodbye.